I'm like so embarrassed saying that, but like whatever. Hey everyone, how you doing? If you are new here, I'm Nicol Concilio and welcome to the video, y'all. Ooh, my TMJ is killing me. I must have been grinding my teeth last night because I was like super nervous to film this video today. We're gonna be doing a brutally honest Q&A. I asked you guys to literally ask me anything. Nothing is off limits. And I feel like this is such a great opportunity for me to have a fresh start here on my channel, be transparent with you guys, open with you guys, because, you know, in 2020, I feel like we all went through it. We learned some really good lessons. However, I really just want to start this year with a clean slate and clear some things off the table, and I'm really excited about this today. I'm very nervous, but I'm very excited. So since today is just all about our Q&A and questions and chatty, I'm not going to use a lot of new makeup. However, I am really excited to use the Nudie number 2 from Lilly Los Angeles, and we're going to be using some Rare Beauty blushes that I got in the mail. I actually did a TikTok review on those, so make sure you go and check those out. And follow me on my TikTok because I post something almost every single day. I'm gonna zoom you guys on in and we're gonna start answering some of your juicy questions. So I'm gonna have all the products that I'm using listed down below for you guys, and I'll also like show them on camera and stuff. I'm going in with a little bit of the Milk Makeup Moisturizer, just kind of like prepping my skin and getting it all nice and ready. All right, I have everything written down. All the questions that you guys wrote to me, I have them written down because I didn't want to be like scrolling through my phone to try and find some. The first question is, as a kid, what did I want to be? Well, my mom actually sent me a few years ago this little thing I wrote when I was in kindergarten that said I wanted to grow up, be a fashion designer, and move to California. So like kind of some of that came true, you know, like I'm not a fashion designer and I definitely do need help in the whole fashion realm of things. I just like live in sweatpants and sweatshirts. This is gonna sound so corny. I always felt like I was like destined for something greater. I didn't feel like I was ever gonna be doing a 9-to-5 for very long. I just kind of like felt it even as a kid. So that was always kind of in the back of my mind. I really wanted to be a model too at one point, but I remember my nanny telling me, my grandma was like, oh no, don't do that because then you're gonna have to worry about what you eat. So the next question is, in 2021, will you stay in makeup or venture off? You know, I always get this question. I never really know what to say because obviously as a person, I have very many interests and things that I like to do, and that's part of the reasons why I made my vlog channel, so that way I could keep this main channel as something beauty related. And if you're ever interested in other things that I like to do, you can always check out the vlog channel. I game on there a lot too. I play Among Us a lot. I definitely do want to venture outside of just makeup just because, like I said, I have so many things that interest me and so many hobbies and things that I really like to do. And I feel like I'm getting to that point in my YouTube career where like I just want to film videos that make me happy. Like I don't even care about the views anymore. I really don't, because I used to like literally put so much pressure and stress on myself for views, and for what? It's not even worth it, you know? Like I'd rather just film stuff that I'm happy doing and that I like to do and showing you guys different sides of me. But beauty will always be my baby. I can't ever imagine my life not having beauty in it somehow, you know? So yeah. Now that I'm like home and back at my house in LA, I'm playing with all makeup that you guys have probably seen like months ago, so don't mind me. A lot of these questions were sex related, so from here on out, we're gonna be talking about some sexual things. So mom, if you're watching, please stop watching. Same with Riley's mom. If you're watching, please stop watching. And also if you have kids around, just, you know, here's your warning. So someone wants to know what is my favorite sex position. I would have to say I really like a good doggy style. I really do. I'm like so embarrassed saying that, but like whatever. Honestly, like anything from behind is great, I feel personally. What's your guys's? Another question is, what was the worst hookup in my life? One specifically, I feel like was this guy. We were getting a little freaky in his car. He was like sick or something. Like I remember him saying like he was nauseous and kind of out of it, and I was like, okay, well we don't have to like do anything, I'm just gonna go, like it's not a big deal. He was like, it's fine, like whatever. And then so it was just like really boring. And then also when everything was done, he backed into the car behind us that was parked and was like, oh, sorry, I was just really distracted by you. And I was like, I'm gonna walk home now. I actually did walk home because it was really close to my house. So I was like, oh, that's okay, you know, you deal with this, I'm gonna go. And then after that, I never talked again. It was just like awkward. The chemistry wasn't there. I also was just like fresh out of a long-term relationship when that happened. So I was like infatuated with any guy that gave me attention at that point because I was like, oh, I still got it, beach. Like I went from a shit relationship and such a relationship that lacked so much affection, and then I went on like a bender of like just breaking hearts. I was like convinced love wasn't real. I was like, love wasn't real. This doesn't exist. I remember I was like, I don't ever want to get married, whatever. That worst hookup of my life was a Tinder hookup. I remember on my Tinder profile, it used to be something like, if you could kill spiders and open jars, swipe right. Like just so stupid. All right, moving on to the next question. Do I have a phobia? By the way, I've been like literally applying this in my crease for so long because I'm so distracted when I tell these stories. I get like so into it. I would say like phobia wise, I don't like bugs. Like bugs really bother me, specifically spiders really bother me. Anything that flies bothers me. Like I don't care if it literally is a little fly, it bothers me. Like I hate bugs. I've broken 2 bones because of bugs, so I'm just not a bug person. Like I'm like, I literally would rather deal with the rats in my backyard than deal with bugs. Someone wanted to know if I've had any pregnancy scares, and I'm gonna talk about that, but I also just want to add a little trigger warning because I'm gonna talk about eating disorders because even though I know it's kind of like, you're like, how the hell do those connect? Trust me, it does. When I was like in the worst part of my eating disorder, like I dropped down to, I want to say I was at like 79 pounds at my lowest. At that point, my body stopped getting its period and I was like, oh my God, am I pregnant? I must have taken 10 pregnancy tests. I remember even telling my mom and being like, Mom, like, am I pregnant? Like, why am I not getting my period? I wasn't on birth control. I am on birth control now, so I don't really have any pregnancy scares or anything like that. When I was in high school, I would say is when I had my quote-unquote pregnancy scares, but only because I was so thin that my body stopped getting its period. Like when you are anorexic or when whatever it is, bulimic, and you're losing a lot of weight and you drop to an unhealthy weight size, your body will literally stop getting its period because it's not healthy to carry a child. And that's what I learned in my recovery. Someone wants to know, how often do Riley and I do the dirty? I mean, honestly, we definitely do it a few times a week. I mean, there's no real schedule to it. It also, like, if I'm in a really depressed funk mood, I won't be in the mood for sex at all. Like, if I'm depressed, anxious, whatever, nothing's ever really planned. There was also another question that I had that was like, do you plan it out? And I was like, oh my God, who plans it out? But I guess when you're older and you have kids and stuff like that, you may need to plan it out. But no, I'm not at that phase yet, you know, where we're planning out that kind of stuff. The next question is, do I get along with Riley's family? Well, you guys, I just spent 37 days with them, so I don't think I would be staying with them that long if I didn't get along with them. I absolutely adore Riley's family so much. I literally used to like pray to have a relationship with my significant other's family like the one that I do now. And I feel very grateful and very blessed that they also love me as well. I feel extremely grateful because not everybody has pleasant experiences with quote unquote in-laws or any of that, but for me it's always been so beautiful, so warm, so welcoming. And from day one, his mom has treated me like her own, and same with his dad, and his sister has treated me like a sister. So I'm very, 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 very grateful for my relationship with Riley's family. It's very open, and if anything ever happens, like if somebody says something that upsets someone, like we have positive conversations about it. Like I feel so blessed to have Riley's family as my quote unquote in-laws one day. All right, moving on to the next question. I got a lot of people asking a lot of the same questions, so I'm sorry if yours wasn't like chosen exactly, but a lot of people wanted to know, do I want kids? And the answer to that is definitely yes. If you follow me on Twitter, you know I was like literally just saying that I feel like quarantine in 2020 has made me a bit more soft and more open to children, and like I really can't wait to have a family with Riley one day. I really, 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 really can't wait. Like, I'm so excited for that. But, like, also don't rush me. Like, I'm very, very scared saying to you guys that I want kids, because now I feel like all I'm going to hear is, like, when are you going to get pregnant? When are you going to get pregnant? Please don't do that to me. I'm begging you, because I swear if you ask me, I will prolong it longer. Okay? Sagittarius things. I want to get married first with Riley. So, yeah, I mean, I'm still really young. I'm 28. My mom actually had me a little bit later in her life, and I feel like nowadays people are having kids a little bit later in life, and I'm okay with that. And I feel like if I had to pick a specific age at where I would want to have kids, maybe like 32, 33, 33, 34, I don't know, somewhere in there. But yeah, I am really excited to have kids one day. One day is the key, okay? Okay, so this next question I'm actually really excited to talk about and address. Was my first Kylie review biased because I wanted her to like me? I'm actually so excited to answer this. I know a lot of you guys are like, why are you excited? When I first got put on the Kylie PR, I was extremely, extremely excited. I was a huge fan, and quite frankly, I still do really like Kylie. I like her vibe, I liked her style. Because I was super excited, maybe it clouded some of my judgment with some of her products. Like, for example, when I did my review of the brushes and I didn't speak up about the price range, about how like it was ridiculous, that I do regret, because like there are so many alternative options for amazing brushes out there. And I feel like that's when people started calling me a Kylie ass kisser, was the whole brushes situation. But like, you guys also have to understand, like, it was a really big honor, because not a lot of people back in the day were added to her PR list. You know, of course there's gonna be people that I'm fans of, like, you know, I love Rihanna, I love Lady Gaga, I love Selena Gomez, I like Kylie. It doesn't matter, because like I feel like I'm at a point in my career now where I feel confident and comfortable enough to say, like, okay, even though I love Rihanna, like I didn't like her holiday collection a few years ago, or like Lady Gaga, I didn't really care for her heat spell blushes and all that stuff, you know, like. And with Kylie, I mean, if you guys are watching my videos, you should know that I definitely have upped my standards when reviewing her stuff. I also really did like her stuff at the time. And if you watched my video that I put out, I believe it was back in August, where I basically was telling you guys that I was going to slow down or kind of like find a new way to review things, I addressed in there a lot of the whole Kylie ass kisser situation and some other stuff as well. I don't want to be extremely repetitive, because I know a lot of you guys have seen that video. I never, ever, ever had any intentions to quote unquote lie to you guys or anything like that. That was never my intentions, and I never really started my YouTube channel wanting to be a reviewer. I kind of just like morphed into that. So I'm still learning the waves, you know, of reviewing what I like and what I don't like and how my skin will react to certain things versus how your skin will react to certain things. And I think that's the beauty about makeup, is that everybody's skin is so different and there's a reviewer out there for everyone. I would never ever lie to you guys about a product. I feel like a lot of people kind of like threw my name out there with like me loving PR, or like if there's ever anything said about me in a negative light, people chime in and say, oh, of course, she'll do anything for PR. You guys, I have no idea where that came from. I've been asking my agents now for 2 years, like, can I please, is it rude of me to ask to be taken off of some PR lists? Like, I do donate, I do giveaways, I give to my neighbors, I mail to family, I donate to women's shelters, but also at a point, it's like, even the women's shelters are like, okay, we've got enough, you know? Next question is, do I have any regrets on breast reduction? I wish I researched doctors a little bit more. And the reason I say that is because my left boob is bigger than my right boob, and it really bothers me. It's not very noticeable, but it bothers me, right? Like, I'm getting a breast reduction. They should be effing perfect. They should be. I also had something really weird happen to me yesterday. I look at my nipples a lot because of how different they are from my surgery, and I noticed two little things poking out. Okay, so here's my nipple. It was like poking out right here, and I was like, what the F is that? And I was like, don't tell me that's like a stitch that's like trying to come out now almost a year later. Like, what? So I grabbed tweezers and I pull out this long ass stitch, you guys. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm like nauseous talking about it. And the end of it was like, the head of the stitch was like black. And then the end of it was like, it looked like it was like decaying. It literally looked like my body was eating away at it. And I pulled out two of those. And granted, that may not be my doctor's fault at all. I'm at the point where like, I don't even want to go back to the doctor that did my breast reduction surgery because I don't want to have any more mishaps. And every time you do go under surgery, something can go wrong. There's always that could be an outcome. And a lot of you guys wanted to know about my scarring as well. The scarring really isn't that bad. Like, I got actually really lucky with the scarring. However, my right nipple is like completely deformed. Like, she cute and Riley makes me feel like I'm beautiful and cute regardless. I don't know how to show you guys just because I don't know. Like, it's literally my nipple. How am I gonna show that? It looks like a piece of pepperoni, if I had to say. And sometimes my nipples now, when they get hard or if it's cold, it stings like crazy because of the nerves. Has nothing to do with my doctor. That's just me oversharing. The next question is, am I ready to get married? I definitely feel like I'm ready to get engaged. I don't want to get married in a pandemic. Like, I'm not going to be hashtag COVID bride, hashtag COVID wedding. Sorry, not going to be me. I care too much about people and my family and the safety of others to even think about doing a COVID wedding. Like, hell no. I want to have like a big blowout party. I fluctuate a lot between having like wanting a huge wedding and then wanting to just like say and go to get married at the court of law or whatever. You know, I can't wait to be engaged to Riley one day, and I do feel like he's the one. So a lot of you little freaks, by the way, I'm and I say freaks in a good way. I'm like freaky, I get it. These are Lilly Lashes in Miami. I have an affiliate discount code with them. It's NICOL at the checkout. A lot of you guys wanted to know what my body count was and like how many men I've been with. Let's see. I gotta count. Not that there's anything wrong even if you do have a high body count. Who gives an F? Truly. As long as you're being safe. Please, everybody practice safe sex. 7? I think. The next question is so cute. I love that you guys asked about Mo because, you know, he my baby boy. Oh, and then also, like, I know I just talked about marriage. I've never been married before. I'm not currently married. A lot of you guys were asking me if I would get married again, and I was like, again? I haven't even been married once. How old is Mo and what is his story? So I think, because it's really hard to tell when you rescue, I am a big rescue, adopt, don't shop. Like, I will literally get into arguments with people about it. We think that he is going to be 6 this year, and when I rescued him, he was 2.5, and he was roaming the streets. He was a street dog. When the woman who brought him to the shelter found him, he was begging for food on people's porches. Some people threw boiling water on him and were whacking him with a broom. So that's my baby's story, and I also rescued Mo before I even dated / met Riley. So that's why, like, Mo and I have a special connection. Like, I used to get really rude DMs from people asking why I don't show more of Junie, or like, why do I favor Mo? And it's like, no, you guys don't understand. Like, Junie, I love her just as much, like, equally as Mo. Like, you don't understand. But like, Mo and I will forever have a special connection because he's one of the reasons why I'm alive. Like, you know, like, and I don't say that lightly. I really don't. He brought me out of such a tough depression and such a tough state. Like, he saved me. He saved my life on so many occasions, and that's my baby. He's always been my baby. Someone asked me this question, and I literally had to look it up on Urban Dictionary because I was like, what the hell is this mean? Do you think you have pretty privilege? Honestly, I don't think I have any more pretty privilege than the next. I don't even like think very highly of myself to begin with, so that's not like a great question to ask me. I asked Riley if he thought I had pretty privilege, and he was like, well, yeah, you're beautiful, but I think you get opportunities and things because you work your ass off. And I was like, that's a nice answer. Okay, I'll say that. Do you think you will live in California long term? Absolutely. I think California will always be my permanent home. I really would love to invest in other properties in like other places. I don't know where, but like I would love to have a house, maybe like a house in Mammoth or Idaho for skiing, like something like that. That's the only thing I could really see myself doing. Riley keeps saying that we're gonna move to Montana one day, and I'm like, no, we're not. All right, the next question is, somebody wants to know, what is the bougiest thing I've ever done, and what is the bougiest thing I own? Okay, so the bougiest thing I think I've ever done was Postmates a feathered boa for the first time I met Lady Gaga at the House Labs event. I feel like that's pretty bougie and pretty LA of me to do. And then the bougiest thing I own, I think, is definitely my house. I'm so proud and grateful to be 28 years old and own a home in Los Angeles. That's not a normal thing for people to have, you know, like especially in Los Angeles, one of the most expensive freaking places to live in, and it's all because of you guys. Like, truly, I am so grateful and forever humbled by your support and your love, because I literally would not have anything if it wasn't for you guys. And I say that all the time because I want y'all to know, like, you are my everything, and I will always stay true to you guys. So the next question, I'm so sorry I keep saying the next question, but I don't know what else to say. Moving on. When you and your ex broke up, was it messy? Has he tried to reach out? It wasn't necessarily messy, but he definitely was very rude to me in like text messages because like I broke up with him. Not that that matters at all, but, and a lot of you guys wanted to know what the story was, is like, honestly, like there was no love there. It was more business than anything. He would keep track of I ate. I don't need that energy in my life. It was just toxic and mentally abusive and emotionally abusive. There was no love. I don't know if he's tried to reach out. I honestly have him blocked on everything. I'm not the type of person that tries to be friends with exes. I feel like once you're out of my life, you're out, bye, done. But I don't want to give him any more attention than this because I know that's what he wants and that's what he craves for. Even when we were together, like he wanted to be in the spotlight. He wanted to do things. He wanted to always be on my stories or in my videos. Like he would do things to be like, look at how great I am, rather than doing it out of the kindness of his heart. I'm not saying that I was perfect in that relationship either, but I definitely let him walk all over me. He convinced me to like pay him astronomical amounts, and if I didn't do that, he was gonna find another job and be like, you're on your own, go find a manager, because like, you know, he was basically my manager back then. Everything happens for a reason, and I'm really glad I'm with Riley. Someone wanted to know my real first kiss story. Woohoo, do I have a story for you. I'm gonna be using the Makeup Forever Reboot foundation today because my skin is so dry. You guys, we got back to LA and it's literally 90 degrees in January. 90!
Feeling hot, hot, hot.
My first real kiss was with this boy named Vinny. It was in a movie theater. I thought it was gonna be like a peck. Like I literally thought it was gonna be like, and we're done. But no, it was a makeout, and I didn't know how to make out. Like, I didn't know any of that stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what I'm doing, so like all of a sudden I feel his tongue like all over my lips, and I'm like, what do I do? Do I just open up my mouth or what? He was a perfect gentleman about it, like honestly. But later that day, like a friend of mine had asked him like, oh, how was it? Like, and he was like, it was horrible. Like, no duh, I didn't know how to make out, and it was my first kiss. Like, the next question is, have I ever regretted a brand deal or a collab? And I definitely don't feel like I've ever regretted any collabs. Like, I've always really loved all of the companies I've collabed with on a product level, but there definitely have been some brand deals that I've turned down before in the past. Like when I first started, I really didn't know. I just like kind of took stuff because that's also like what my ex was advising me to do. Like I didn't know anything. Like the beauty influencer world was so new and I didn't know. Like, so there definitely were some brand deals in the beginning when I started off that I was like, I shouldn't be doing this or whatever. Like, you know, those like stupid fit tees. Like I definitely did a few of those. It's really like anybody that is thinking about becoming an influencer or whatever, any of those, like a content creator working for brands, whatever it may be, you always want to try out the product before you agree to the brand deal, because that's your integrity, that's your audience, that's everything. You want to make sure what you're selling you actually believe in. And that's definitely something I've learned like along my career. I've been doing this, it'll be 6 years I think in May. So, you know, I've learned so much over my 6 years, and I'm so proud of like who I am today, because even when I first started my makeup career, I'm like, who was that? That's not me. So a lot of you guys wanted to know if I smoke weed, and the answer is yes. I try not to smoke it because of my vocal cord, the cyst on my vocal cord, even though my doctors assured me that like smoking does not affect it, but like I'm a singer. I shouldn't be doing that anyway. I enjoy edibles. I love a good hybrid. I love a hybrid sativa. I love hybrid indicas. I love hybrids. I feel like it's a good combination of both of them. And I love them for my anxiety. And also please keep in mind that it is legal here in California to have it recreationally, and CBD and marijuana like has helped me so much with my mental health journey. Sorry you guys, I'm trying to get out a wipe because my hands are dirty. And it like seriously lifts my mood. Now I'm not saying to go out and try it and do it and it will help. Like sometimes it's the reverse effect. Like Riley, he can't smoke or have weed as much as he used to anymore because it does a reverse effect on him. It makes him very paranoid. It makes him anxious. He kind of like paces through the house. So everybody's gonna have a different effect with it. I have never tried any other drugs. The only drug I've tried is alcohol and marijuana. That's it. And I don't really have any interest in trying any other drugs. Someone wanted to know what is my go-to munchies. Mac and cheese, anything, or Taco Bell. Mac and cheese or Taco Bell are like munchie heaven for me. Someone wanted an update on my voice, and I thought that that was very, very, very sweet. So if you don't know, I have a vocal cyst on my vocal cords. It's something that I was probably born with, and it's been really tough for me, and a lot of you guys have noticed that my voice is getting better, and that makes me very, very happy. Unfortunately, it won't ever be 100% better until it's gone. I really would love to get surgery this year on my vocal cords. However, you know, we're still in the midst of a pandemic. I don't want to have a surgery, especially in California right now. This is so fun. I hope you guys are like learning something about me while I'm talking about this. Like, I hope it's interesting at least. So someone was saying that they're new to my channel and they were interested in how I first started. If you didn't know this, I was diagnosed with a heart disease when I was either 20 or 21. I don't exactly remember. I remember being in and out of the hospitals a lot like crazy because nobody knew what was wrong with me, and nobody was like listening to me. Everybody was like, oh, it's just anxiety, it's not your heart. It's just anxiety, it's not your heart. And I'm like, no, like I feel the palpitations. It's my effing heart. Like I know it is. When I was in and out of the hospitals, I would watch makeup tutorials and I would play with makeup because I lost a lot of weight. Everybody would always say to me like, oh my God, you look so sick, you look so skinny, you look crazy, like, oh my God, are you okay, like whatever. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so tired of people telling me that. So I would play around with makeup and would like bronze and contour and add like color back to my face that was missing. And it made me feel so beautiful. That's really when I fell in love with makeup, was in the midst of all of my health problems. I do feel like in life there are silver linings. Like if it wasn't for me having my heart disease, I would have never really been into makeup that much. I wasn't like an avid makeup wearer throughout high school or anything like that. I am very grateful for the experiences that I've had in my life, even though they may have been tough. I'm forever grateful for all of the lessons. Oh my God, not me getting emotional about this. Have I ever gotten PR and been like, fuck no? Yes, absolutely. Tom, insert the clip from an unboxing. Like I said, I am grateful for everything, but there are just some brands that I don't align with, that I don't agree with their policies and the way they run their businesses. Like it is what it is. I think almost everybody that gets PR has had a package or 2 or 3 that they've been like, oh, hell no. So yeah, that's definitely happened to me. Are brand trips as amazing as they look? And this is such a good question. A lot of the times when we go on brand trips, we have requirements, which I feel like, you know, that's cool. Like you're literally taking us on a trip. I'm cool with the requirements, like posting wise and stuff like that. Some of them are fun and some of them are literally a nightmare. There was one brand trip I went on 3 years ago, I want to say, maybe 4 years ago. It wasn't organized. Things were weird. It was like a very random group of people. Honestly, I can get along with anybody and have a good time with anybody. I remember we all got like so sick on this boat and they literally had branded barf bags for us. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me? Branded barf bags. And I'll never forget, and I don't want to sound ungrateful, I really don't, because I'm very grateful for all the opportunities. We got off this boat, they were like, how was it? And I was like, oh, it was really, really rocky. And the company of the boat was like, oh yeah, we begged them not to use this boat, but they said no. Like, so pretty much the brand knew that everybody was gonna get sick, and they made these branded barf bags, and everybody's makeup was ruined for the rest of the day, and we all were sick the rest of the day. Like, it literally was the worst brand trip I've ever been on in my life. I also think it depends on the people behind the brand activities, the people that are invited on the trip. 9 out of 10 brand trips are fun as hell, but there's always that one that's like, okay. So I'm very, very, very picky and selective of the ones that I do go on, just because like I try to pick what's best for my time. You know, like if I feel like a brand trip isn't going to be worth it for me mentally, I'll stay home and I'll film and I'll get work done for you guys, you know? Like that's kind of how I pick and choose. As a 1992 baby, are you scared about your 30s approaching? Yes, I am. I'm petrified. I feel like my life is going to be over. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm extremely scared of aging. Like, extremely scared of it. Like, I know the alternative is dying, so it's like, everybody always says your 30s are your best years of your life, and I'm like, well, I'll see when I get there. And if not, I want a check, and I'm suing. What is your biggest pet peeve? Oh, God, guys. I cannot stand slow drivers in the left lane. Like, seriously, get out of the left lane. What are you doing? You're gonna cause an accident. Oh, and I literally can't stand when people don't use their blinkers. It's there for a reason. Use your blinkers. Let us know where you're going so we don't rear-end you. Thank you. Is the beauty community toxic? Everybody's been asking me this lately. My answer for current day 2021 is no. However, if you would have asked me this a few years ago, I may have said yes. Like, we've all had our experiences. Like, when I first started out in this beauty world, it literally was like a fucking Shark Tank. I've been on brand trips, like when I was first starting out, where people would Snapchat everybody together, and then when the camera would get to me, it would quickly turn away, and I would be like, oh, okay, I guess I'm not welcome here. But at the same time, there was also so many people that were welcoming and kind to me. You know, I feel like the people that scream the beauty community is toxic are actually the people that are toxic, you know what I mean? Because A lot of us are not. And I would say majority of the beauty community is very supporting, very uplifting, and there for each other. Like, we're all there for each other. I love all of my relationships right now, like current day, with every blogger out there. And, you know, that doesn't go to say, like, obviously in the workplace, like, there's always gonna be a little bit of drama, right? And I'm sure where you guys work, there's always gonna be drama. There's always gonna be people that annoy you or people that aren't as they seem, because trust me, there definitely are people that aren't as they seem. That's just 100% fact. You know, sometimes that can be a little bit frustrating for me because I'm like, oh, I wish people knew. It is what it is. Like, I honestly can get along with everybody. I don't have problems with anybody. And like I said, I really am proud of the beauty community and how far we have come. And a lot of you guys were also asking me, like, what's my thoughts on influencers not speaking up? And like, personally, I think it's ridiculous. I think every influencer, every person out there, every celebrity with a platform should be using their profiles and their platforms, their voices for good. I always have thought that. And like, some of you guys were saying in these questions, like, how do you feel about this person, that person? Like, I don't want to get into that, but you guys also have the power to decide who you want to follow. So if you feel like a beauty influencer isn't being as vocal as you'd like them to be, unfollow them. Use last year and the beginning of this year as a guide for who you want to follow, who you feel like is on the same page as you, who's got good intentions, who's got good vibes, who's real. Just use your follow and unfollow button. Truly, like, you guys have all the power. Some people wanted to know my thoughts on cancel culture. I think educating people and calling them out when they're wrong is 100% necessary. However, I feel like sometimes people want to cancel people over the cheese that they like, and that's just ridiculous. I always feel like educating people is way more beneficial and will get through to people better than just canceling them. That's how I've always felt. And we're going to be using the Rare Beauty blush. This is Nearly Neutral. Oh, I tried these blushes recently and I really liked them. Check out my review on my TikTok. So this next question is, was there any drama I was a part of that I regret? And the answer to that is definitely yes. I absolutely regret sticking my nose where it doesn't belong, and I definitely learned my lesson with that. I'm sure you guys know, back in September of 2018, I had made a tweet. It was done out of frustration, and I absolutely could have handled the situation a lot better. And this was the whole Marlena situation when I was in her video, Dear Influencers. I'm sure you guys remember. And I'm actually really happy that this question was brought up to me because I haven't been ready to really talk about it yet, and I'm not trying to start any drama or bring up any bad blood or anything like that, and there is no drama. Like, I have no problems with Marlena whatsoever, but I do feel like I'm ready to talk about it with you guys and kind of explain my side a little bit more, because I still do get asked quite a bit about the Marlena situation. And coming into 2021, you guys know I've really been reflecting and meditating, and this situation is something that's been definitely weighing me down a bit. And my whole point of doing this Q&A to start off 2021 is to kind of like have a fresh start, just be genuine, transparent, and open with you guys, because that means more to me than anything. So back when I tweeted what I did, there was a lot going on in the community. It felt like there was something coming out every single day. Like, there was just drama every day, and it was a lot. It was a lot to even just be in the beauty community. It was a lot. And Marlena had released a video that was about influencers and pay rates, and I personally feel like that video started a witch hunt. I was getting a lot of backlash from that video. People wanted to know how much money I made on certain videos. A lot of other influencers were getting backlash as well, and that may not have been her intent, but it certainly did happen, you know? In my opinion, it was a little bit irresponsible because some influencers won't ever see that type of money for a video or ever get those opportunities. And then it led into this whole thing about beauty influencers being paid to do negative reviews. It just kind of was like spiraling. And that is something I have never personally ever heard of or experienced. And trust me, like a lot of us influencers, we talk in the community. We got each other's back. So Marlena had put out a tweet about a Netflix series, and I saw James Charles quote tweet it. I totally saw the tweet out of context. I had my opinions just based off of the videos that she had been releasing and the stuff that she had been saying. I responded harshly and was wrong in that part, absolutely. And I apologize to Marlena about that. I had the tweet up for like an hour or so. I don't exactly remember. And I was thinking, that's a little bit harsh. I don't like that I said that. So I deleted it, and I was praying that and hoping that Marlena didn't see it because we never followed each other. But that was naive on my part because it's the internet. Of course everyone's gonna see it, you know? I regret saying something like that, and I feel like I've learned and grown so much since 2018. And then almost a year later, when Marlena mentioned me in her Dear Influencers video, I was quite shocked to be lumped into it because there were a few other influencers who had felt the same way I did about everything. Like I mentioned before, we were never following each other, and the only time we really spoke was when she messaged me through the Makeup Geek Twitter, and she was assuming that I was tweeting something about her brand. I don't even remember what I said, and she gave me a contact number, but at the time it felt a little bit more businessy and professional than just like a personal contact, you know? I don't know her personally or professionally outside of that like one interaction, and of course when I apologized to her after everything had come out, because I genuinely didn't even think that she saw the tweet. So it was definitely wrong of me to assume her intentions based off of her videos that she was putting out. Absolutely. After all of this, we spoke and Marlena accepted my apology. She even told me that she felt bad for putting me in the video after we had spoke. There's absolutely no bad blood between me and Marlena whatsoever. I absolutely wish her the best with her brand and her family. And yeah, I just really wanted to clear that out and talk with you guys because I never really felt ready to talk about it, and I never wanted to like bring more drama to the situation. But wow, I feel like even just recording this right now, I feel like such a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders because it definitely was something that's been on my mind a lot. I kind of want to do a pink lip. We'll see how it comes out. I'm using the On Ice lip liner from ColourPop, so I'm just gonna do that really quickly. Are you still annoyed at James Welch for calling you out? All right, you guys, let's talk about this because this has also been weighing heavy on my heart because I feel like I never really got a chance to say much about it either. I'm not trying to bring up any drama, but you guys asked, so here we are. Back in the summer, James had called me out on his Instagram stories because he thought that I was lying about my before and after photo using Fenty Skin. I am absolutely all for constructive criticism. I'm all for tips and tricks. I'm all here for that. And you know, he did teach me a little bit with the whole lighting aspect of things, and that was my bad, you guys. I never ever try to do anything to like mislead you guys. You guys should know that. And I really feel like James went about it in such a wrong way and in such a bullying way. Like how he was zooming in on my face and posting it on his stories and kind of like almost making fun of me in a sense. I feel like what he did was bullying rather than constructive criticism. Like I remember feeling so proud about that Fenty video and like how I sat there and I did the research and I looked up ingredients and I was so excited because like I had this opportunity to try it out before a lot of other people did, and I tested it out for like almost a month and I was just so excited about it. And I really didn't appreciate because it felt like he was questioning my integrity without even really knowing me. And I've done so much work on becoming a better reviewer, a more honest reviewer, and being more thorough with my just reviews and my thoughts in general. And I really feel like what he did was bullying. So yes, it really did annoy me and frustrate me because we could have had such a positive conversation about it privately. He could have said to me like, hey girl, is this photo edited? Just want to like let you know this isn't a good representation of a before and after. Here's why. Like that, I feel like would have been such a positive conversation, and I would have been so open to that. And you know, James and I did speak, and he apologized to me. He even put it up on his stories, but I was very confused because he took the apology down less than like 10 minutes of having it up, and I honestly did not feel like it was genuine, and a lot of my credibility could have been saved, if you want to say, in that sense, with the apology that he did. But he just deleted it, and it wound up being a whole drama fest of people saying that of course I'm an ass kisser, of course I'm this, of course I'm that, when I'm not, and I've worked really hard to steer away from that. So yes, I definitely was extremely frustrated and really annoyed with the way that he went about it, especially zooming in on my face. I mean, that just felt like hardcore bullying. But I can respect and appreciate how passionate he is about the skincare community and how he wants, you know, just honesty. And like, I promise I was not trying to be misleading to you guys. More than anything, I posted that photo to go tell you guys to watch my YouTube video, you know? But yeah, all right, you guys, I finished my makeup. However, there are still 2 more questions I want to answer, so I'm going to zoom you guys on out and finish off with those 2 questions. This second to last question is something you hate when people comment on. Ooh, that is a great one. So you guys know I've been really open more about body positivity. I'm not smoothing out my stretch marks or any of my stretch marks on my boobs or my hips or my butt anymore. Even though comments saying like, oh my god, I love your stretch marks, like even though like that is done with such good intent, sometimes it doesn't make me feel good. It makes me feel more self-conscious because I'm like, okay, here I am trying to be a bit more vulnerable, and then when people point it out, it makes me feel really insecure. Because in real life, you wouldn't walk up to someone on the street and be like, oh my god, your stretch marks on your boobs are beautiful. I mean, maybe you would. I wouldn't. If you wouldn't say it to someone in real life, then don't comment it. So like, even though those comments are meant to be positive and sweet, and like I know you guys have the best intentions when commenting it, it can kind of come off a little bit weird, especially since I do have my history of eating disorders and body dysmorphia. So that's just a little something to be careful on when commenting on anybody's body in the future, because I actually know Jackie Aina said something like this, and also Katie actually said something like this recently. It's like people say, you know, you're so brave for posting this. It's like, no, I'm not. I'm just owning my body, you know, and we all should be owning our own bodies. And I feel like strongly, if you wouldn't say something in person, definitely don't comment it online. And then the last question is, do you regret being political? And my answer to that is no. I have my beliefs, and I'm very strong in my beliefs. And if you follow me on Twitter, you know what my beliefs are. And it's definitely anti-Trump. And I'm sorry, like I realized by saying this, like you guys have to understand, when I mention politics, I have to mentally prepare because of how vicious some Trump supporters can be, and how rude and mean they can be in my DMs, and like just vicious. Like, I'm sharing my opinion. I'm allowed to share my opinion, okay? So no, I definitely don't regret being political. I'm actually really proud of myself for sticking up for what I believe in and using my voice and using my platform for good. I want to continue to do that. So yeah. Oh, you guys, I feel like I've been talking for 5 hours, but I had literally the best time doing this Q&A. I hope you guys feel a bit more connected with me. I love you guys so much, and maybe we'll do one of these like a few times throughout the year. Maybe we could do a couples one with Riley. I feel like that would be fun. I know Laura Lee and Tyler just did one. I loved it. It was so funny. But yeah, you guys, thank you to everybody that participated in this Q&A. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Bye!